Today, we're going to be getting into how Christopher Watts, who annihilated his entire family, his mistress, Nichol Kessinger, and American Horror Story's new season that's being filmed currently, and the oldest cold case in history. What do they all have in common? Let's break it down. Rory Jean Kessinger was a 24-year-old drug dealer and bank robber who has not been seen since the early hours of May 27, 1973. Rory was wanted in several states such as Kansas, California, Texas, and Alaska. In January of 1973, Rory was found by a cop running around naked in the woods of Pembroke, Massachusetts. Rory had informed the cop that she had been raped. He then proceeded to take her to the safety of his home in order to call for help. Once inside the home, Rory had turned off the lights, and in the process,
she stole the cop's gun.
Once the lights were back on, she pulled the gun on him and told him, "I'm sorry, but I'll have to kill you." The cop managed to tackle and pull the gun away from Rory. Rory was then taken to a hospital where she then again stole a cop's gun and proceeded to yell at the cop, "Die, you pig!" She was subsequently tackled again. Rory was finally incarcerated in Plymouth County Jail on the late night of May 26, 1973.
She managed to escape due to someone unknown smuggled in a hacksaw into the jail for her.
Rory proceeded to saw the bars off the cell in order to escape. After her escape, Rory has never been seen again. It has been said that she was more than likely killed by her criminal associates. One police source says the woman in Colorado is the mother of infamous Rory Jean Kessinger, who has been missing since 1974 when she was 25 years old. The body between 5'6" and 5'8" matched Kessinger's height. The decomposed corpse was determined to be dead in the dunes anywhere from 5 days to 3 weeks. The body in the dunes, or aka the lady in the dunes, which is going to be one of the storylines of American Horror Stories new season. Let's get into it. Rory Jean Kessinger was a 24-year-old drug dealer, bank robber, and gun runner who went missing in 1973 and was never heard from again. What stands out about her unusual tales of escapes and encounters with authority were like something out of old Hollywood movies. She is perhaps the most interesting forgotten female outlaw out there. Rory was found beauty with translucent blue eyes, caught up in the stereotypical counterculture hippie lifestyle of the 70s. She ran away from home when she was 15 years old. Her family had never seen her since. Rory was long suspected to be the Lady of the Dunes, an unfortunate young woman who was found murdered on a beach blanket on July 26, 1974 in Massachusetts. The poor red-haired girl was raped, strangled so hard that she
was nearly decapitated,
violently bludgeoned on one side of the head,
and her hands removed to prevent fingerprint identification.
Provincetown. An ominous, thick fog shrouded St. Peter's Cemetery around 6:30 a.m., as fog would be expected to do when a casket holding the remains of a murder victim is being unearthed. The unsolved murder, along with the mystery identity of the woman,
is the oldest case in the state police cold case unit.
Copies of the woman's dental records have been sent all over the country. Police once followed a lead into Canada and came up empty. Investigators have suspected since the late 80s that the unidentified woman was Rory Jean Kessinger, who ran away from home at 15 years of age, robbed banks, used 5 aliases, took hard drugs, and escaped from prison in Plymouth. But until now, they have been unable to verify that.
One police source said the woman in Colorado is the mother of Rory G.,
who has been missing since 1974 when she was 25 years old. What has been known for well over 25 years now, simply and cryptically,
the body in the dunes was exhumed for the purpose of taking genetic samples.
Law enforcement say they are trying to match the victim's DNA to saliva sample given to investigators
By a woman in Colorado, maybe the mother.
The identity of the dead woman has confounded state and local police since the body was discovered by a 13-year-old girl walking her dog in the dunes about a mile east of the Race Point Ranger Station in the summer of 1974. The naked woman's hands had been severed and were not found at the scene. Her head was barely attached. Body between 5 foot 6 inches and 5 foot 8 inches tall matched Kessinger's height. The decomposed corpse was determined to be dead in the dunes anywhere from 5 days up to 3 weeks. 3 days again, guys. Forensic tests put her between ages 25 and 35. However, there is no direct link linking the dead woman to convicted killer Haddon Clark. Investigators say he may have been on the Cape at the time she was killed. Clark, 47, is serving time for killing a 6-year-old girl. Note the 3s, 6s, and 9s all over these cases. And a 23-year-old Maryland woman in 1992. He confessed that he killed at least 11 other women and buried some of them on the Cape, in the National Seashore, and near his grandparents' home in Wellfleet. Investigators are expected to resume the search for these bodies sometime next month. Now, this was going back to 2011, I believe. So that man confessed to killing the woman, the body on the dunes, or the lady of the dunes, and they thought it to be Rory Jean Kessinger. How crazy is that? Okay, not only that, she disappeared in 1973, after breaking out of a Plymouth, Massachusetts jail. She had a lengthy history of drugs and other types of criminal activity. Aliases she used. Aliases. Jennifer Marie Lynn, Linda Lynn Koch, Penny Susan Johnson, and an alternate spelling of her last name as Kessinger. Her father was a security director who prevented shoplifting in department stores. He could not control his wild daughter. In 1969, her dad wrote a hilarious letter to the editor in the Daily Illinois State Journal regarding the out-of-hand situation of youths and shoplifting. Poor Mr. Kessinger, can you imagine this square and sanctimonious man's reaction to his daughter's sexy, exciting life of crime? So thus far, we have learned that there was a woman in the 70s named Rory Jean Kessinger, who was pretty much an outlaw. But they thought she escaped from prison, and she was running with a gang, a cult, a clan of criminals. Rory had dark friends. And her father, I love how they mention, poor Mr. Kessinger. Can you imagine this square and sanctimonious man's reaction to his daughter's sexy, exciting life of crime? He was most likely traumatized. I wonder if they're related. Drop a comment so far. Okay, so what we've learned is that there was a body found in the dunes of Massachusetts. It's a famous story. I think they call it Lady in the Dunes. I don't know if there's a ghost there now or whatnot. But apparently, American Horror Story is dropping hints that they're going to be filming there. And it's exactly almost 3 years later after the Watts family annihilation, where the mistress is Nichol Kessinger and stands and poses an awfully lot like Rory Jean Kessinger. Oh, by the way, another thing that I found really odd was how the pictures that came out of Chris Watts, the family annihilator's phone, his secret app of his mistress, were either, there was a ton of them on these sand dunes out by Crestone where they went camping, right? And then you have the doppelganger pictures on the beach. If you guys watch our videos, go check out our Nichol Kessinger playlist, The Mistress to Chris Watts. So dunes are sand, guys. The sand dunes, the lady of the dunes, the body in the dunes. Yeah, okay. And peep the numbers. Anyway, let's keep it going. So let's find out more about this Rory Jean Kessinger, the outlaw who escaped from prison. Shall we? Let's get it. Rory really got around. She was said to have been wanted by the police in several states: Kansas, California, Texas, and Alaska. A police officer found Rory running around naked in the woods of Pembroke, Massachusetts, dressed only in lingerie in January of 1973. She disclosed to the police officer that she had been raped, but when he took her to the safety of his home, she switched out the lights, pulled out a gun, and told him, "I'm sorry, but I have to kill you." I just want to note that the lady in the dunes was found strangled so hard her head was almost decapitated and both hands were cut off so they couldn't find fingerprints. After being escorted to a hospital, Rory pulled a gun on a caseworker as well as a cop, yelling, "Die, you effing pig!" She was tackled down and subdued yet again. An avid drug user, Rory Kessinger, was supposedly high during all of these arrests, which gave her the courage to act brazen.
Even when in the crosshairs of a gunfight, perhaps this also brought about her demise.
According to Detective Warren Tobias, a Provincetown police detective, he was informed by an associate of Rory's who was arrested with her in 1974 that she was pushing up daisies. So far, we have two female Kessingers involved in high-profile murders where the bodies were found in the dunes, even though Shanann Watts' body was found at Surrey 319. That is desert land, and those are sand dunes. Comment your thoughts below if you think this is all crazy. Could that be Nichol Kessinger's mother or grandmother? Do you think they look alike? Or no, it's just another coincidence? Did Rory Kessinger and her clan or gang or cult of
dark friends
murder someone so that they wouldn't continue to look for her after she broke out of prison like an outlaw? She took guns from 3 different law enforcement officials. Let's get back into her. There was no doubt that she did not live long after her daring dash and jailbreak. However, after exhuming the body and testing it alongside Rory's elder mother, it was found that there was no DNA match. Rory is not the Lady of the Dunes. Rory's body had never been found, nor any viable trace of her yet. Her fate, as well as the Lady of the Dunes, is still an unsolved mystery. What do you think of all this? Do you note a resemblance between Rory Jean and Nichol Lee Kessinger? Comment below.